Previously, on our last class, we wrapped up the unit on Eastern Africa with its extreme climates, many types of animals, and ethnic conflicts. Today we begin a new unit on North Africa. Here's an introductory question. Which evaporates faster, warm or cold water? If you said warm water, you are correct. Warm water is closer to the vapor stage, which means that its warmth helps the water droplets rise in the air. Cold water and cold air is heavier. This heat versus cold concept is important to understanding the climate in North Africa. Today's lesson will be about where North Africa is and what kind of land and climate is there. Let's look at a satellite image of North Africa. It is mostly desert and sand and rock, called the Sahara Desert, and it has very little vegetation that can be seen from space. Although it does border the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean on sides, there are small coastal regions that you can see that have green landscape, which means more moisture and vegetation. The Sahara Desert is actually essential to other parts of the world's climate. The trade winds, which are the yellow arrows in the image shown here, blow to the west in this part of the world. Because of the wind direction, the mountains of the Middle East block the moist air, so this creates desert. As the desert gets hotter and hotter with very little moisture, the desert has grown. Sand piles are shifted around. These are called ergs. Sand from the desert blows across the Atlantic Ocean on the same trade winds. Sometimes there is so much sand it can be seen on satellite images. The minerals in the Sahara sand are actually helpful in growing the Amazon rainforest. The phosphorus helps the soil, which helps the vegetation grow, so animals and humans can consume food. And since there is so much rain in the rainforest, the minerals in the soil are quickly washed away. With the continuous trade winds bringing more sand, this process is stable. The climate of the Sahara Desert is mostly rocky plateaus, sand, with a few oases around to provide water for humans and animals. Desert means lack of rain, and this area only gets about 1 inch a year. In contrast to the American Midwest, we can get 36 inches or more a year. When it does rain a few drops in the Sahara, tiny seeds that were buried sprout briefly, so you will see clusters of vegetation like the image shows. And although we think nothing lives in such a harsh desert climate, there are in fact many animals, but they usually live near a water source, such as an oasis or coastal area. Click the link to see 15 desert animals you may not know. The essential water source in the region and the longest river in the world is the Nile. It starts in Lake Victoria in eastern Africa. You'll remember this lake from the last unit because it is overfished and has lots of tiny crowded islands. The river then flows north to the Mediterranean Sea. You can see the river stand out from space against the desert landscape. But did you know that it also stands out at nighttime? Because along the river is where most North Africans live, and humans build city lights that use lots of electricity. This nighttime image shows Egypt along the Nile River and where the human population is dense. Because of the warm temperatures and water source, farming can happen year-round. With the Suez Canal that was cut deeper, water transportation has a shortcut through this area too. Your assignment today is simple. Click the link in Google Classroom or on this slide to practice locating the 5 countries in North Africa. Although the assignment is not graded, it is practice for an upcoming graded assignment and test.